Hey, welcome to Loose Change. As always, please allow faster viewers to play through it. I'm Jim Evans. Thanks for joining us. And as I always say, you'll be so glad you did because we're going to be talking about another local state champion. So hang around for that. First off, what's been going on? Did you guys hear about this? Youngstown police recently apprehended a guy who was walking down Mahoning Avenue with a big bandage on his head, a big black eye, and was wearing a hospital gown. He told police that he had been struck on the head by a meteorite. And I'm guessing it was about the size of a 12-pack. This also happened recently. In Washington, a huge sinkhole opened up on the White House lawn. Well, they're going to drain that swamp. Maybe that's a good starting place. Oh, the Cavs season comes to an end, unfortunately, swept by Golden State. But a great, great year. And as we tape this show, we still don't know whether LeBron is staying or he's leaving. Now, if he does take off, this is going to be a big, big, monstrous business hit for downtown Cleveland, especially for restaurants and bars who stand to lose millions of dollars, almost as much as one of Johnny Manziel's weekend bar tabs. Give credit to Golden State, though, like them or not. They are a great, great team. There's no reason to think they're not going to keep doing this. And I thought, how do you stop them? How do you try and slow them down? And the only thing I could come up with was maybe to throw them off track and out of the game, that somehow you have to have their players start dating the Kardashians. That might be the only solution to get that done. Browns head coach Hugh Jackson came through on his word. He had said last year that if the Browns did not win more than one game, he was going to jump in the lake, which he followed up on. He got other people in the organization to help him out and do the same, and they raised money for charity. So that was really cool. But Jackson talked about it, and he said, you know what, this might serve as a cleansing of sorts. And I thought about that. You know what, the words cleansing and Lake Erie shouldn't be associated in the same sentence, I don't think. I don't know. And did you hear Walmart has been remodeling a lot of neat new upgrades, including a new feature where they will have customers go to one window and get on a computer and post their comments. And another station where customers can get on a computer and post bail. Hey, hang around. Don't bail out on us. Jim Hanek joins us next here on Loose Change. He will. It's out of here.
Armstrong Telephone is an ordinary service with extraordinary features. Call anywhere in the U.S. and Canada with greater clarity and reliability than cell phone service. Listen to voicemail and manage calling features online. Even get caller ID on TV. Make the switch. Get all your local and long-distance calling from Armstrong Telephone for only $9.95 a month for 6 months. And keep your current number. Plus, the added benefit of free 24/7 local support. Telephone service from Armstrong. One wire, infinite possibilities.
Welcome back to Loose Change. I'm Jim Evans, and I have the great pleasure to be joined by the head coach / manager of the Division III State Boys High School Baseball Champion South Range Raiders. Did I get that right? Jim Hanek. Jim, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
What we like to have our victims or our guests do off the top is give us a little background about yourself, where you're from, where you went to school, and how your work situation unfolded, and then we'll get into what your great guys have done this year.
Grew up in Austintown, went to Ursuline High School. Both parents went to Ursuline. Myself, my sister went to Ursuline High School. Played baseball at Ursuline. I had played for Coach Durkin my senior year. He came in my senior year at Ursuline, and fortunate upon graduation, attended YSU, was asked by Coach Durkin to come back as a coach. Was his assistant JV coach while I was in college. And then following college, got hired out at South Range for a teaching job, science teaching job, and fortunate there to land an assistant baseball coaching job at South Range. Was the head JV coach for a year, and then was handed the program over after that, and I've been the head coach out there since, the 06-07 school year.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
The hard work has paid off with the state title. First ever state championship in South Range history, is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
That's really
it's-
something
yeah.
to put on in the trophy case and on the mantle and everything like that. Express your thoughts, your feelings now. You've had a little time for the dust to settle about it.
Still, it's still can't believe it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still that kind of feeling. When you're in the day-to-day grind, you're just it's one game at a time, one game at a time, one game at a time, and now you almost sit back and you're like, how did it happen? Just when you start to think about the plays here, all the individual plays, the way the chips fell, it's even harder to believe, if that makes sense.
Obviously, you have a great bunch of people, a bunch of guys kids that you've had a chance to work with, and certainly, when this type of thing happens, you always look to your seniors and their leadership, and obviously that played a big role for you.
Yeah, it's a small group, a very small group of seniors. We had a big group graduate the year before and had some holes to fill position-wise, and a lot of kids stepped up at the right time, and my seniors were fantastic. The way they carried themselves, and just real pleased when I sit back and think about things, just how they handled the run, how they handled the uncharted territory. Once we got into the district final, won the district final, something that's never happened in the program's history, and just the way they carried themselves, kind of able to just stay focused, that one game at a time mentality.
Well, you beat Coldwater in the championship, the storied program,
Yes.
and just about everything. 3-2 was the final. And you finished at 18-15, is that correct, overall?
Yes.
Okay. You look at that and you say, well, gee whiz, you really got on a tear at the end there when it really counts. And that's a great thing about tournament play, is that everybody has that opportunity, and you guys kind of chilled right there and got it going.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was funny. I was getting interviewed, I think it was after the regional round, and how did you guys put this together? You lost 7 of your last 8, and I didn't even realize it. I didn't even at the time realize that's how we finished the regular season. Just know that we played a very difficult schedule, and we were playing good ball. Just the quality of baseball we were playing at the end. We lost a couple. We lost a 10-inning game to Canfield. We lost a 2-1 game to Louisville down the stretch. We lost a 2-run game to Boardman, and we were really playing good baseball.
Some pretty good programs there.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And just getting into the tournament just felt like we were playing good ball, and like I said, it was just kind of one game at a time, and we went on a run and won them when it counted.
Winning breeds winning, huh? I mean, you get on a roll like that, and confidence builds, and they take the field. They know they can get it done.
Yeah. One of my seniors kept saying we're going to make history. We're going to make history, and they were confident. They were a confident group, and I mean, you need that. You want that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they were focused. They weren't getting ahead of themselves, and they were able to stay in that one game at a time mentality.
What was your feeling about this team coming into the season?
Yeah, I was interviewed earlier in the season. Gentleman from YSN, DJ Yoakum, who kind of followed us throughout the season, and I said, I think we got a chance to be good. I said, just looking at the roster we had, the kids we had, we got potential to be pretty good, and we didn't get off to. I think we were 2-7 in our first 9. We didn't get off to a great start, and we did some missteps defensively, got exposed a little bit, and I think hindsight obviously very good. That we got exposed early on and were able to see some of our weaknesses and kind of go to the drawing board and fix them.
Pitched a 4-hitter in the championship game. It was pitching your strength, certainly through the tournament run.
It was. I had a freshman was our number 1 and a junior who emerged. Last year, maybe 2 varsity starts as a sophomore.
Brooks?
Sam Brooks, and Sam Brooks did a great job for us. Thrown into district final, the regional final, and the state final, and then Jacob Gehring as a freshman for us, stepping in and throwing on, pitching on a big stage, winning in the semifinal games for us.
talk about confidence there for a younger kid, for sure. Who you mentioned a couple of those guys. Who are some of the other people? We can't mention everyone, but maybe a few of the other guys that really helped make it.
My seniors, Bryson James. Bryson was the kid I was talking about that just, hey, we're making history. Brandon Youngs made some huge defensive plays during the tournament. My first baseman, Michael Cunningham, another senior, that was big, some big hits throughout the tournament. Benny Rivera, who led us in hits and average, my left fielder, big hits throughout the tournament. My catcher, Jared Bajerski, did a great job handling our pitchers, controlling the running game during the tournament. And my center fielder, Joshua Steer, who ran down a number of balls for us in the outfield.
What started to click during the regular season after that kind of start that you struggled with?
We would have a lot of games where we'd strand runners. We'd get a guy at second base with nobody out, and we wouldn't score a run. We didn't cash in on opportunities early on offensively. Defensively, pretty solid most of the year. Some missteps in terms of, we weren't in proper spots on certain bunt coverages or cuts relays. We weren't very solid. That definitely solidified itself as the season progressed, and definitely during the tournament the timely hitting was there. I mean, it was night and day. You go to the early part of the regular season and look at our tournament run. The timely hits were there for us during the tournament.
Was it I don't know if this is the right term, a work in progress as you move through the season in any way?
In some respects, some way? We definitely had a core nucleus back from the previous year, but in outfield, my center fielder was my right fielder last year, and my corner outfielders were brand new. They did so. The outfield needed some time to gel. And look, Northeast Ohio, the spring is not kind. Very difficult. In a gym setting, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to get efficient outfield work done. And so we knew, there was balls and gaps, some communication issues early on, but they played. I mean, I'm most pleased with that position group, how they gelled towards the end of the year and throughout the tournament run.
Yeah, that's a great point you make in terms of we've had some lousy spring weather over recent years for whatever reason, and I know it makes it really difficult on you guys, not even with games, but to get out and practice, and you have to be inside, and maybe that lends itself a little more towards infield work and pitching and that type of thing. But you're right about outfielding, not having the opportunity to do that.
It's tough. It's difficult. Indoors, a lot of fundamentals. You can get a lot of fundamentals done. Heavy infield work. I mean, outfield work, basic footwork, but when you're tasked to cover the largest area on the field, I mean, those outfielders are responsible to cover a lot of ground. One slight misstep on a ball, dooms you in a lot of cases. And I mentioned communication. Angles were a bit of a problem early on, as you would expect. But again, that got much better as the season progressed, and very pleased at the angles they took on balls down the stretch.
Are you still learning on the job? Every coach tells me that, no matter how long they've been coaching. There's still things I'm picking up here.
Yeah, always. Just always looking better ways to teach things.
Not so much about the game, but
just different techniques, and again, it's kind of comes full circle on a lot of things. What falls out comes back, and but I try. I talk with coaching peers and former coaches of mine, and you're always trying to look to see what you can do better, I guess.
Is this it's a somewhat smaller school, but is it, obviously I would think you have the group that you have is pretty tight knit. They have that chemistry we always hear about, synergy and that type of thing.
Yeah, it was one of the more tighter knit groups that I've coached. There was just a different dynamic there than previous teams. It's hard to explain, but it just seemed like this was just a group of kids that have been best friends all their lives, and they just really gelled together as a team.
Needless to say, the lower programs are doing some good things to have these kids come up to this point and, be, poised to make something like this happen, perhaps.
Yeah, your feeder system is huge. You credit the dads, and that's what it is at the lower levels. Credit there, they're willing to learn, and they're willing to coach the kids. And like I said, it's very difficult. Once a kid gets to the high school level. I mean, there's a lot of things. The kids are set in their ways, so to speak, with throwing mechanics, hitting mechanics, and whatnot. So, definitely credit to the parents and the youth organizations for doing the job that they do, and credit also to the parents of my players who coached those kids. A lot of them were coaches at one time. Again, just a great group of kids to coach.
Let's take a quick break. Can you hang around?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do that, and we'll be back to talk more with Jim Hanek right after we do this here on Loose Change.
Zoom Wi-Fi is the area's fastest and most reliable internet experience. Whether you use the internet for email, streaming video, or gaming, Zoom allows you to choose the service plan that's right for you. And Zoom Wi-Fi makes it easy for everyone in your home to safely and securely surf the web at the same time. You can stream video from anywhere in your home or catch up on your emails from the couch. Call today and we'll help you find the Zoom level that's just right for you. The future is faster with Zoom.
Back on Loose Change, along with Jim Hanek, I'm Jim Evans, and of course he is the head coach of the state champion South Range Raiders baseball team, and you're also now the district coach of the year. So congratulations on that as well. And as every coach that I've talked to that comes under that umbrella in whatever fashion it might be, they credit the kids and give obvious credit to kids and their staff, and I'm sure you feel that way about this award.
Yes, I have a great coaching staff, no question. A lot of the guys have been with me for a while.
That's a big help, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 first-year coaches, 2 former players that have done a great job for me, and the kids. My players. I just couldn't be more proud of them.
How good? I mean, we know about Coldwater mostly from football.
Yes.
But they've got a great baseball program, and they finished 27-7, something like that.
Yeah,
so
and
that was an achievement.
20 trips. When you look, 20 trips to the state Final Four and 6 state titles. That's impressive. I mean, that's definitely
Absolutely.
a storied program. That's a perennial power, and we knew going into that game it was going to be a difficult game. I mean, people ask, hey, I run into some of my friends, family members, whatnot. Hey, how are they? Are they good? Or yeah, I mean, everyone at this point's good. You don't get there without being good, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy. But I mean, our kids, they believed in each other. They believed in themselves, and the one thing we did talk about during that run was playing for each other, playing for one another. Wanting to make the play for the guy next to you or the guy that next to you that kicked the ball. You want to make the next play to pick him up, and we really fed off our fan base and fed off of our dugout.
Coming in that game, did you talk to the guys at all? Hey, we respect our opponent and what they do, but really it's more about us and what we do, and it's another baseball game that we have to go out and play here.
Yeah, I mean our objective, which I think is every coach's objective, was to try to jump on the opponent early.
Yep.
We were able to do that against Coldwater, Madeira. It took us a little while into the 6th inning, but you want to get, especially in tournament play, you want to get on the board early, and you want to force the other team to try to play catch up. The big thing in the tournament, especially as you progress from the district into the regional, especially the state, is the kids just aren't used to playing in front of a large group of fans.
Right.
And you're not used to the big play, the double, the big hit, the RBI single, the booted ball, and to hear a roar from a crowd. It just doesn't happen during a regular season. So I try to prepare the kids as much as possible.
That's a great point.
Just, you got to tune it out. You got to be mentally strong. You got to tune that out and feed off of your bench, your dugout, your fan base. And, I think they did a good job at that.
Just to have that experience down there at State, that's really something. That park is phenomenal, and it's win or lose, and thank goodness that you came out on the front end there. But it's an experience that so few people get a chance to have, and they'll have that, take that for the rest of their lives.
Oh yeah, I would travel down to watch games when they first moved to Huntington Park.
Yeah.
Before I got married, had kids, and was able to go down and watch games. And it's something that, as a coach, you dream about. Love to be on that field, love to be coaching. Didn't foresee it this year. Just something that kind of materialized. Obviously as time went by, and yeah, it's a great experience for my coaches, myself, my players.
Sure.
Nobody can take that experience away from you. And
Absolutely. You played for Coach Durkin, coached with him, and obviously you're able to take some pretty good things from one of the better coaches we've had in the area.
yes, I owe a lot to him.
Okay.
He got me in the coaching. It was right out of high school. Thought enough of me for me to be a member of his
Sure,
staff,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that first year in 2000, we made a run, and he did as a player. Now he was on the '88 state championship team at Ursuline, as well as Coach Metzinger, Bill Metzinger, and they were, I think, at the time, couldn't believe, can you believe we just won? And that's kind of the way, I felt after winning the state title here. I just can't believe this happened. So I did. I tried to take what I remembered from that experience, the
Yeah.
01 team, the 03 team, those years, and tried to take from those experiences and kind of what I learned, and kind of use that as a guide, as a format to kind of lead the team down there.
You mentioned you're great fans, and obviously the community was supportive, I'm sure, and excited about what you guys achieved. And a lot of sports, the football team made a great run last season, and the basketball teams are doing great. And this is a pretty good time for Raiders athletics, isn't it?
It is. It's humbling. It's just great to be a part of what already was a very rich athletic tradition, and
Right.
only just to add to and enhance it. I just feel blessed that we were able to do that. The football team, great run. The soccer program,
Yep.
team run of recent softball. Was able to make a state final run a couple years back. So it's great to be a part of that.
And I'm sure you can't say how appreciative you are enough of your fans and the community support. And that means so much, doesn't it?
It's great. It's some of us refer to it as nirvana out there. Teaching at South Range, coaching at South Range. It's just a great group of kids. It's great families. It's just a great community. The two townships, Beaver and Green Township, just a great community to be a part of. And it was very surprising, shocking, but our families, you kind of expect it. When we came back, the welcoming party back at the school was impressive for the kids. I don't think the kids realized. I myself knew we were going to have people there. I was just a little shocked by how many, and I know the kids were taken aback a little bit, and it definitely enhanced that experience for them.
That's great. And to have support, and every coach talks about this, is not only from the fans, but from the administration, the people in the district carries a lot of weight too.
Yeah, the administration, great job. They're always around, always offering to help. My superintendent, my principal, my athletic director, always offering to help. Very good in terms of communication. They were there during the tournament run, and we're responsible for help setting up that reunion back at the school, which was very nice.
How was it for you in that tournament run? And certainly when you got down to state your, I guess your time management, because all of a sudden now you get the media hanging around a little bit more, and other people need this, that, and the other thing. Was that were you able to manage that as you expected, or was it a little different?
Yes, it was different. You go out to practice. The last practice, it was the second to last or last practice before we were traveling to Columbus, and there's two multiple news stations out there on the field. Players are warming up, and they're pulling players off to the side, and it's, the one thing that I told the kids is just enjoy it. I let the kids enjoy it, even after victories. I know some coaches may target, hey, our goal's the state, and we're not going to celebrate until we make it. My thoughts were, let's just, every moment, let's celebrate it, because you truly don't know when it's going to end. It's tournament play. It's one game. You're playing today for a tomorrow, and let's enjoy it, and then we could always just rein it back in after. So that was kind of our approach the entire time. They let the kids enjoy the media, the attention.
Yeah, that's really cool too. Yeah. To have that attention. You now you have that bullseye on your back, and that's okay. You want that. You've really raised the bar now for your program.
Yeah, definitely have, and credit to my players. They've done that. Not just the players this year, but the players that have come before them. I got two of them on my staff that definitely, when they were players there, really set the bar high. And it's a credit to my past players and my current players.
It's cool to have that thing, state champs right there, and then kids have to think about that and talk about that now.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's weird. It's different, hearing that associated with the program. It's great, and again, it's, as I told the kids, I said that's just something that to be a first, not just a program first, but a school first. You're forever going to be talked about.
That's right.
You're not going to be forgotten. You're going to come up in conversation years to come.
You're part of, before we finish up here, that and we mentioned this before we got going about our area. We know high school football, the premium falls, but we've had a lot of great baseball and softball over the last decade or so. Look what Champion has done in softball, and other baseball programs getting down to states. So you're part of that now, and it's really cool for our area.
It is, yeah. It's just great to be a part of. The coaches that have made that. Coach Durkin, who's won a title. Canfield, I believe in Boyd. Canfield champion. Camel won back '92.
It's been a while, yeah.
It just, those are coaches when I got into coaching that I looked up to, and just to be mentioned among them it's humbling. And then again, our players to be mentioned amongst those players that achieve such greatness it's a good thing.
Absolutely. If we keep this up, you're going to end up on Dancing with the Stars, so we'll be looking for you.
Nobody wants to see that.
Well, we would. Thanks so much for your time. Congratulations to you and your team and Raiders Nation, and hopefully we'll have a chance to talk again.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Good luck in the future. Thanks, Jim. All right, we'll be back to wrap it up here on Loose Change, so hang around.
Armstrong would like to thank our customers for being part of the Zoom Internet journey. 2 decades of speed, reliability, and innovation. The future is faster with Zoom.
Hey, that's going to do it for our show. Thanks so much to Jim Hanek, and congratulations to the South Range Raiders state champ baseball team. Way to go, guys. Thanks to Greg Roten. I'm Jim Evans. Love you, Mom. We'll see you next time here on Loose Change. That swing I did earlier was really weak, wasn't it? So was that.